Mathew Alexandra Henson, 1866-1955, first person to reach the North Pole by Iranian and Yaba. Mathew Alexander Henson was an American explorer who accompanied Robert Peary on 7 voyages to the Arctic, a period of nearly 23 years. He was born just a year after the Civil War in 1866. He spent most of his early life in Washington, D.C., but he left school at the age of 12 to work as a cabin boy. He later returned to Washington and worked as a sales clerk at a goods department store. One of his customers was Robert Peary, who hired him as a personal valet. At the time, Peary was working on the
Nicaragua Canal.
Mathew Alexander Henson went to accompany Robert Peary on 7 voyages to the
Arctic
over a period of nearly 23 years. Mummy, one more thing. This was their third attempt to get to the North Pole in 1908. Henson mastered in Europe and could build igloos for shelter.
Great.
That's all they could eat.
Okay, go on.
They were accompanied by 22
Inuit,
17 Inuit women and children, 246 sledge dogs, and 50 wolves.
Okay.
Supplies for their trip: tons and tons of coal, radio, and 50 walrus meat. Yeah. Several members of the 1909 Peary expedition, among the Eskimos, L2R Mathew A. Henderson, Chief Engineer Wardwell, Professor Donald B. Macmillan, Dr. John W. Goodsell, courtesy the Explorers Club, New York. I think I am the first man to sit on the top of the world. On April 6, 1909, Henderson was the first of the 6 men, Peary and 4 units assigned to reach the Jurassic North Pole, and arrived first. Peary arrived 4 minutes later.
45 minutes later.
Commander Perry's preliminary account of his
successful voyage
to reach the
North Pole.
In 1944, Henson was awarded the Polar
Expedition
Medal, and he was received at the White House by Presidents Harry
Truman
and
Dwight Eisenhower.
In 1988, he and his wife were reinterred at Argonaut at Hero. In 1937, he was the first African American to be made a life member of the Explorers Club. In 1948, he was elevated to club highest level of membership. A century after Perry in 2000, Henson was
posthumously
awarded the
Hubbard
Medal by the National
Geographic Society. Yeah. Fun facts about the North Pole. All the lines of longitude meet at the North Pole. When you are standing on the North Pole, any direction you point is south. The nearest land is around 700 miles away. Wow. During the summer, the land is always up. The sun rises in March and sets in September. That's a really long day and night. All the lines of longitude meet at the North Pole. Okay, so we've said that twice, haven't we? So we're going to talk about Taraji P. Henson. Henson is the great-great-uncle of Hidden Figures Hollywood actress Taraji P. Henson. She was praised for her starring role as Katherine Johnson. This is Katherine Johnson here on the left. She was an American physicist and mathematician who calculated NASA's rocket flight trajectories. She was involved in the Apollo 11 mission, the space shuttle program, the Earth resources, satellite and plans for a mission to Mars. Her work was so accurate that when NASA switched to using computers, they would call on her to check the computer's calculations for errors. So this is the movie, and this is Taraji with the real Katherine Johnson. Isn't that wonderful?
So, do you think Santa is in the North Pole? I think he's in the South Pole.